Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing your daily Walking Dead video leading up to the Walking Dead Season 8. In this one, going to update it. Do we think we could actually see the Whispers this season after all? And spoiler warning, as usual, if you guys are not caught up for Walking Dead, which is up to the end of The Walking Dead Season 7. So in this one, I want to go ahead and update this one since we did get the recent casting news for two characters. If you guys missed the video, I released it on Friday. It's in the channel right now if you want to check it out. Dylan and Abood are the names of the characters that are being added, and they most likely from their descriptions sound like they're going to be characters that were introduced in The Walking Dead in A New Beginning, which is the volume which also includes our next big set of villains to come in after the Saviors and Negan, which is the Whispers, which is very exciting. So I really cannot wait to see this. It's going to be really incredible. At first, you know, my first thoughts on whether or not we were going to actually see the Whispers this season were that we would, because we were already almost halfway through All Out War. Let's say we're about 30% through All Out War. And usually they go through about 3.5 volumes per year. Since we're starting off Season 8 at this point, and we've already seen a little bit of All Out War from the Walking Dead comic book series, it looks to me like there's not enough there to stretch it to the whole season. So we'll have to see if they're able to do it, but based on the recent casting, it sounds a lot like we probably will see A New Beginning. And even though it might be a little tricky in the second half, this would probably be second half of Season 8 at this point, because we're assuming All Out War would take up probably the first half and maybe a few episodes. So this would be kind of closer to the back half of The Walking Dead Season 8 to see them come in. But you know, even though it might be a little costly for them to change things up and to do some kind of time skip, or, you know, change the communities in the way they are and the way they're laid out and everything, we'll have to see how they kind of work it in with the TV series version. But of course, it doesn't have to be exactly the same as the comics. We could see some differences there. But I think we'll see something for the Whispers this season. I'll be pretty surprised at this point if they go ahead and they stretch All Out War all the way through, because it's just, it's such little content. And also, when they do action sequences, when you have action episodes, they tend to go by very quickly. They tend to not last that long. For example, the Season 7 finale had a good portion of the action sequences in the first part of All Out War in it, and it went by all in one episode. So we also saw No Way Out, where the kind of final No Way Out confrontation with all the different zombies that had come into Alexandria. In almost one episode, they pretty much finished that all off, all the action in that very quickly, because it just, when it translates from comics to TV series, they tend to go through it pretty fast. It's pretty hard to kind of stretch out action. It's expensive, and it's usually fast-paced, and it's not easy to do, because of costs and everything, and because, everything, adrenaline pumping, and it's just going by really quickly. It tends to kind of get crammed in with regards to episodes. So I did get your guys' questions for this one. There was a couple of people. Marcel2AG said, two very awesome characters, not to mention Gimple said Season 8 will be much faster paced than Season 7, so definitely possible that we could see a time skip this season. And I actually think we will at this point. Now, I thought in the past before they would really fill this out, and I'm sure they're going to, fill it a bit of it. You've got other groups in here now for the TV series, so I'm sure they're going to expand on All Out War, and it won't be like Terminus or something, or, have the, the Hunters just be killed off in like 3 episodes or something. But I don't expect All Out War to be done by the end of episode 3 or 4. But, we're thinking for the second half of the season, yeah, it starts to make a lot of sense that All Out War may not last 16 episodes with fast-paced action episodes. You might only be able to get, half a season or 9 or 10 or 11 episodes out of that. 16 episode seasons with some extended are pretty big seasons. So, yeah, I think we actually will see the Whispers this season, and man, I'm really excited to see them. It should be really intense, really gruesome, and really cool. And the next one came in from SSA, who says, that is absolutely Siqqid, no doubt about it, 100% chance it's him. Looks like All Out War will end around episode 12 or 8. So he's saying like, somewhere around just after the mid-season finale, maybe after a few episodes or somewhere around there. And I think you're right. If I had to do a prediction on when I think it's going to end, I'll go for around episode, I like 12. I like how you said 12. I think around episode 11, 12, something like that is pretty good. And then get a few episodes with just the start of the development for the Whispers, and then maybe have them in the finale or something as a pretty exciting new group to encounter. That'd be good for a finale to introduce them, because to be honest, it's going to be pretty hard for them to screw up the Whispers. I mean, they're pretty intimidating, they're pretty intense, they're pretty scary, and you know, I definitely think people are going to like seeing the Whispers in the show. That's for sure. Andrew Ortiz says Dante is actually one of my favorite characters from the comics for some odd reason. I find his character interesting and like how he flirts with Maggie. So again, if you're out of the loop on this one, watch the video I did on Friday about the character descriptions for the characters being named. And remember, the names are not always the final name. Usually it's some kind of cover name, and then they give us some idea, and then that way we can kind of know. It does sound a lot like Siqqid and Dante. And so to give my thoughts on Dante, which I never really have, except for my comic book reviews, because of course we haven't seen him in the TV series yet. Yeah, no, he's really funny. He's really cool. I really like how he kind of plays off that with Maggie, and he kind of like, you know, makes passes at her, this kind of thing, or sarcastic to her, kind of does that, and then she kind of pushes it back. Yeah, so not interested, right, at all. And of course, as viewers too, and after all these seasons, when we see that, fans are probably going to be like, you know, pissed off, and they're probably not going to like it. Punk Rocker for Life 9674 said, I can already imagine the internet going nuts, especially the female fans of the show when they watch Dante try to flirt with Maggie, saying Maggie is Glenn's and always will be Glenn's, etc., or something along those lines. So you're absolutely right. I think you're calling it early. That's an early prediction, and I guarantee we're going to see that, absolutely. If he comes at the end of the season and we even see a little bit of that, absolutely guarantee that we're going to start to see, you know, fangirls online start getting pissed off, which is good. You know, it's fun, it's drama, it's all that kind of stuff. And, you know, he is a funny character, and he's good with a sword, too, so that's pretty cool as well, too. In the comics, when we first see him, he's got, you know, a sword. He gets in some sword fights with some of the Whispers there, which is really cool. And that's also another element that I'm looking forward to, which is kind of to see that sort of kingdom. You know, not many firearms around, and not that many weapons around, which we've already kind of seen them start to kind of elaborate on, which is it's pretty hard to find weapons, and when you do, you really shouldn't waste them, because you don't know if you're going to be able to find more ammunition, this kind of thing. So a lot of groups out there, such as the Kingdom and some others, are mainly using, you know, swords, sword fighting, Whispers, butcher knives, things like that. They have a few guns, like we've seen a shotgun with their leader who has one, but a lot of what they have is a lot of hand-to-hand weapons, which also adds to kind of the excitement of getting to see sword battles in The Walking Dead like that is really cool. That's something we haven't really seen yet at all. I can't think of even a single kind of sword battle. We've got Michonne, but she just kind of smokes everybody every time. We've never really seen, you know, like or one-on-one or a bunch of people together in that type of fighting. So that's pretty cool, and I can't wait to see how that looks in live action compared to the comic version. It's going to be really cool. Leslie Gallen says, who wins, Trev, for Carol? Do you think Tobin or Ezekiel will get her, so to speak, or will be with her? So I would say I think Ezekiel. I really don't think, as I mentioned in my death predictions, Tobin, you know, I don't know how much longer he's going to be in the series for. We'll have to see what they do with him. You know, he's a cool guy and that kind of stuff, and he's good at building, so maybe he's good to have around for time skips and such, so that he can build stuff for them, and so that it makes sense, because he's like a construction guy, so he's very useful. But Ezekiel is like, you know, Ezekiel's got the cool factor. I mean, he's got the sweet hair, he's got like the dreads, he's got like the sword and everything, he's got the sweet speeches, and he's got a tiger. So, you know, so he's pretty awesome. He's got his whole own group and everything. So, yeah, we got to go with Ezekiel, man. I think that's who I would want to see Carol with out of the two. But Tobin's a nice guy. It's just like, you know, Ezekiel's awesome, you know, so it is. I don't know. Sajida X1 says, Trev, for season 8, are you going to do something about those assholes who spoil episodes in the comment section? So, again, displacement. You're trying to hold me accountable for what people leave in comments. Listen, bro, I go through them as much as I can. I have a job. I don't really have a life. I am somewhat close to a life, kind of, which includes grocery shopping, adult shit, you know, cleaning the house, spending time with my wife, seeing family, that's pretty much it. So I don't always get time to just sift through the comments all day. You know, contrary to popular belief, I do get off my computer sometimes. I can stand up and I can walk around. So people who accuse me of not having legs, there you go. I've done videos running around and stuff like that, like my trailer for season 7. You can watch that if you want to see. But yeah, there's no way I can do that. There's no way I can stop people from that. All I can do is go through and block people, ban people, and you know, remove their comments. But I produce videos every day, and I'm not always there removing comments all the time. So, I mean, this year I think people were pretty good for the most part about not posting spoilers. I asked everybody, and most people complied. It wasn't too bad this year. So, it's what it is. And if I do see anything, I will definitely be removing any kind of stuff that's bad spoilers with regards to character deaths or things like that. That's what I consider to be like major spoilers, and I try to kind of stay away from or delete that kind of stuff. We'll do a few more. Will Milligan says, Trev, could you do a top 10 episodes directed by Greg Nicotero, like some kind of list for a top 10 of his episodes? He's done some of the best, and it'd be cool to hear your rankings. So thank you. Well, the thing is like a lot of his are in my top 15 best episodes, which I did last week on Monday, I think. So it's in the channel if you want to see what my top 15 best episodes for The Walking Dead, the ones that I think are the absolute best. That list is in the channel. You can check it out. A lot of them are Nicotero's. All you got to do is kind of look at where they're placed. A good portion of them are anyway. And man, he's done a lot of really, really good episodes. You're absolutely right. And a good portion of them are in the top 10. I wouldn't be surprised at one day if like my whole top 10 is episodes he directed, because he directs some of the biggest ones in the series for sure. Todd Helms says, Trev Q&A, this might be a dumb question, but isn't it 100% confirmed that Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead take place in the same universe? By the way, there's a new Fear teaser trailer if you guys didn't see it. Also did a review on it in the channel, and got the link in the description if you haven't seen it yet and you want to watch it. It's 30 seconds, but it's really good. Same time, etc., just different parts of the world. Thanks, and just try to work it out in my head if a crossover is even possible or if it's totally separate. So thanks, Trev. So for Todd, the timeline is totally different. I did a timeline video comparing where they're at, and even right now in Fear the Walking Dead, the Fear the Walking Dead group is way ahead of where the Walking Dead group was at that point, I want to say, or at least in terms of what they've had to do already to survive. This is like very early days right now, like Rick waking up from the coma, stuff like that. The Fear crew really had a jump on them. So I haven't checked recently since the end of like season 2, but at some point there, I think after season 1, like part of the way through season 2 when I did that video, last year, they were roughly around Rick waking up from the coma time. So they literally would be like, I don't even think they would be in like season 2, maybe like first half season 2 territory, but they wouldn't even be through into season 3 yet of Walking Dead. So the Fear group is pretty far ahead in terms of time frame and kind of their evolution and the things they've gone through. It is the same universe. It's the Walking Dead TV series AMC canon. It's not canon to the comics. That's its own universe. Certain video games are canon to the comics, not canon to the TV series. So The Walking Dead has two main universes. You have the TV series universe and you have the comic book series universe. And Fear the Walking Dead is canon to AMC's TV series universe for Walking Dead. So it is canon, yeah. And could we see a crossover? Maybe Morales is really the only character I can think of they could cross over and have it make sense. He leaves in the first season. Somehow, maybe. I don't know, man. We probably never see a crossover, to be honest, because the timelines are so different, and it just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. So we'll see, but I doubt it. The last one will be for Dylan, who says, Q&A, what section of the Walking Dead TV series do you think includes the best acting? This could be a line, a scene, an episode, etc. For me, it's got to be the confrontation between Rick and Shane before Shane's demise. So I got to agree with you there, Dylan. In all The Walking Dead, the best acting, I think, is in Season 2. Season 2, they did the most with the least. They had a budget, I think, that was smaller than Season 1. In fact, I'm sure it was. It was a smaller budget than Season 1. They did more than double the episodes. They were really good for the most part. A few slow ones in the middle there. But they did a lot, and I think without John Bernthal's performance, Andrew Lincoln's performance, and many of the others, they wouldn't have been able to carry that season. I think that the emotional kind of struggle that was going on there, even Laurie, Sarah Wayne Callies, and how she played Laurie, awesome female villain type character, I suppose you could call her. it was really great. They did a lot with a little, and the acting really was incredible that season. There's other seasons too. I mean, it depends. Season 3 is a lot more action-paced, so if you like action, the acting is pretty good for that. I think Merle's really cool in Season 3. Michael Rooker does an incredible job, with him, Michonne, and the others, but just as far as like pure acting, emotion, them delivering their lines, doing what they have to do, it's pretty hard to beat Season 2. There's parts of Season 3 like Clear with Lenny James, who kills it. But then a lot of the other seasons have like some hit or miss parts, I think. Season 4's second half, for a lot of people, they didn't like it. Season 5, it's really tough to say. But the best acting, I might have to go with Season 2. I might agree with you. And some of the most emotional parts of the whole series, like 18 Miles Out, the ending there when you see Rick and Shane, they're kind of driving back with the sound, Civilian Wyoke, it's pretty incredible, to be honest. It's pretty emotional, and I felt like, when you think about that finale of Season 2, it probably shouldn't have worked, but it was so well done. It was acted so well. The writing was on point, really good, and man, it was a pretty emotional death for Shane, and the end of Season 2 was really great overall as an end of a season. Really affected people who watched the show, and got the ratings went up. Next season they were up way higher. So absolutely, that'll be it for today's video, guys. Keep sending me your questions. We can do another Q&A for tomorrow. Send them to me through the About tab of the channel, or you can write them in the comments below so I can see them, and thumb up other people's if you guys want to see them in one of the videos. If you have any video suggestions, send them to me. If you guys like this video, please thumb it up below. You can also share, you can favorite, and write down in the comments below. Do you think we'll see the Whisperers as well, or do you think All Out War will be stretched the whole season and we won't see them until Season 9? Let me know what you guys think. That's it for this one, so you guys can sue for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. We'll see you probably tomorrow.